Hi, my name is Alessandro Angelosi, and that's a video tutorial coming from citycookie.com for Max Cookie. This time we'll continue to work at the fluid logo animation we started past time. We done something like that. So we have this one moving in this way, and then we have the logo there make by fluid. So we have to fix some things. You see we have there the logo visible. We have to fix some stuff there, and maybe we have to fix the speed too, and then we can also imagine to have maybe just a part of the fluid logo. For example, we can render at the end just this part. Or maybe we can imagine to have just this part rendered. So you see, it is not important to have the first fluid. We need this one to prepare the fluid there. So we can fix the stuffs and render just the last part, and we have to fix this one too. I like to start playing a little bit with the look to see how we can set up the looking and also the animation fixing. So I like to fix this one, and you see actually we have the problem that I like to have it more fluid, so I like to move more water over it and to change the noise size. So let's pick this one, the particle flow system, and we go on the first one, and the first one would be set to off. So then we can go there. Okay. So first of all, that's the frost, and it's not a problem. We need to pick the sphere, and that's this one. Let's use a lower scale. Let's try with 7, maybe less. Let's try with 3. Now it should work a little bit better, but to see how it works we have to set to off the particle flow system, and then we can check the animation. So you see it is moving in a better way because it seems more fluid. Let's recheck this one, and we should have maybe more segments, so it will be more smooth. So now we should have a better look there, and we have the text there over inside the stuffs, but I'm thinking that we are using the fluid with this one, so we need a copy because the particle system will be too slow. So let's make a clone, and this one will be final fluid sphere, and it will be renderable. The other one is the sphere number 2, and this one will have obviously less segments, so the particles will be faster. Let's go to you have the particle flow source set to on. Okay, and we have it moving, I think, in the right way. So I like to start playing with the illumination there, and we have just a transparent material, but we have to select the shader, the sphere number 2, object properties, and that's not renderable. Then final fluid sphere, and that's renderable, and then we'll play with a visualization. This one will be the final fluid sphere. I like to make it something like a fluid, so we have mental ray, so we can use an arc and a sign shader. So let's go for a water basic preset like this one, and we can assign it, and then we'll play a little bit with some stuffs. I like to have for the moment a complete transparency. So the same material must be used for the frost, so let's assign the same, and we can pick the logo, so the text, and this one will be max cookie txt logo. Okay, this one is just with an extrude. Let's go in a perspective, full visualization there, and we can go for the moment for this look with no 3D information, and we need to add some lighting because actually we have no lights. So I like to add some lighting. Let's start with standard. We can go for some area spot. And we go to have, let's say, the color for this one, for the main lighting, is just a little bit of yellow, and it will be 1.5, and we stay with this parameter, and there we have also the overshoot to have lighting all around. Highlight parameters, and let's go to have a bigger area. Okay, and let's save the scene in the right folder. That's the part 2. And let's try to render just one frame. Let's go for 500 to be faster, and for the moment we have no global illumination, and the anti-alias is low, and let's go for 24 for the bucket to be faster. Let's render. It is preparing the mesh, and that means that it is preparing the simulation for the particle flow, and it's creating the mesh for frost. And you see that we are creating the fluid. And the water effect seems not bad. Okay, then let's say that we need a material for the Max Cookie logo there, and let's pick the text, and we say that this one is text logo shader, text logo material. So text logo, it's okay. Let's assign right mouse button to object properties to see if everything is okay, and then we'll use for the moment an arc and assign, and we'll use no reflection, white color for the diffuse, and we'll go for a self-illumination, so this one will be really visible. Then let's go there and move this one down, and we'll write something different, and we say 3ds Max tutorials. This one will be obviously really little, and we'll move it there and there. So it will be a little bit more interesting, and we'll see how to make appearing this one later. I like to start having something for the background and something for the reflection and refraction. So we can go there in the diffuse and maps, mental array, and we can use this one, the environment background switcher. So we can switch to use two different maps for reflection and refraction and the background. Let's say that the background for the moment is black. Let's see in the 3ds Max maps what we can use. So 3ds Max maps, and let's see for HDR, that's the outside, that's the interior. Let's try with this one with basic value. Some big reflection for the interior shader. So the reflection we are seeing, sorry, it's due to this one, to the text. So we can select this one, and with the Control key, the second one, right mouse button, object properties. Let's say that it's not visible to reflection or refraction, it receives no shadows and casts no shadows. So it should work now. We should have the usual reflection as before, but we are still maybe we have problems now with the map on the background. So let's check. If we remove this one, we should maybe have refraction from the back maps. Yes, that's right. Okay, so we can use for the moment this way, but I like to see if we can have maybe another maps in another way, and we can use later if we can use this one. Let's remove also the bump for the water, because it is using the bump ocean, and we have this one, and now everything should work fine. Let's see if we can have, for a better look, using the perspective, the text outside the water, and go back in the camera. So you see we have it in the front. But we have to check also the visibility. So let's go there. Let's retry. Maybe it was an error for the rendering. because you see I just tried to render just the text and it works fine. And okay, now we are sure that it is working. We can have something on the back there to be sure, so let's go in, let's select this one and also the second one, and let's go in isolation, and there we can create a rectangle with edged corner, and we center it to this one. Okay, and then we'll move it there. This one will be extruded obviously, and let's go there, let's say 1 centimeters, but it will stay there. And we can choose a color, so let's copy this one and we call it base, and the color for this one will be something like green, and let's copy the same color, paste. Let's see how it looks. It seems not bad. Exit from isolation, save everything and render. Okay, so you see we are trying to give a nice looking color to this animated logo. We can just play with this one, and this one can be black. So to make it black, we can copy this one. Let's call it little. We assign, and we'll have no self-illumination, and it will be completely black. Okay. Then I like to add another light source. This one can be moved, going to be more like this one, and we can try to make a copy, and this one can be, let's go for something like a blue coloring. Okay, and let's go for less lighting. Just a fast test to see how it is looking. You see that we have some blue lighting. Really nice. Okay, I'd like to add another lighting clone. This one will be a backlight. This one can be just using the diffuse, and it will be a little bit lower. So we go this one there, this one, sorry, a little bit up, and this one will be there. And let's say that this one will be, I make a test it will be red and maybe not so powerful. Okay, so let's save. We have to adjust the decay, so now we have to tune all the lighting. Well, let's see just how to see how it looks. Okay, we have some red lighting over it. Perfect. So I like to say that this one is lower, but we have to use the inverse square, and we set to off this one and off this one. The first one will be set to on, inverse square, and we have to decide the decay. The decay will be start from there, and let's see if the lighting is okay or not. To make the testing, we can go for a simple material. So we'll use on another slot an incandescent that will have no reflectivity, and it will be a little bit darker. Okay, so we can evaluate in a better way the illumination. Okay, let's go at full screen there, and this light must be more powerful, so light lister. Let's select this light, and you see we can, for example, set there to 4 and render again. And you see that we have more light in there, but maybe we can go forward and try with 7. Okay, so you see we have a big lighting there. Let's set to on this one, and we have the inverse square. Let's use an higher value, and let's start setting to off this one, and let's say 1 just to make a test. Okay, you see that we start to have some lighting there. Maybe we can go for 3. That's more. Okay, another thing I like to do is to say that this light will not illuminate the logo, I mean the text and the back. Let's select the first light, and we'll do the same. So we'll move it there. Let's set to off this one and set to on the backlighting, and let's see what happened. Okay, we see nothing, so let's go for 5. We have to check also the distance. And see if something is happening. We should see, you see some light in there. I see something really not so much visible. but it's something. So let's go to have all lighting, and see what happened. We have the main light there, the backlight there, and just the backlight is not still so visible, but we'll have the reflection, so maybe it will work better. So back to the frost. So now we can go back to the glass. We go for the glass for frost and also for the sphere. Perfect. Let's try to render just to see how the things are coming. Now we have to set up a background, trying to figure which will be the best way, and then we'll work a little bit on the additional information for the other fluids. Okay, I like to see if it is better in another way. So let's select the backlight. We can call it this one as back, and the number 2 can be the fill, and the number 1 will be the main. Okay, so let's go to the backlight, and let's see what we can do. We have this one visible, but we can remove the area light, so we'll have not a rectangle, and we should have just the red as illumination, see, and less like reflection. So you see we have just some points of red, and it is better than before, because before we had too much red over the mesh. Okay, so this part is fine. Let's go back to shaded to be faster. We have the logo that is working fine. We can see also on the basic layer there, when the particles are starting to move all around the surface. And you see that it is working fine. Okay, let's go again to frame 500, so we have it in the middle, and let's work on a background. We need a still background, so the background will be always visible. Let's go in isolation to have less stuffs on the monitor, and to do this we need just the logo with the second one too, and let's go in isolation. Then we can work on the background, and the background can be a map. Let's start with a gradient ramp rotating by 90 degrees, so we'll have the darkest there and the lightest on the back area. Let's go for a saturated color like this one there, and something like a lighted color as this one there, and we have the switcher there or not, I don't remember. Yes, but we can use directly this one. I prefer to use the switcher, so let's go in the switcher and we'll use this one as background. Paste, and let's see a render. Okay, let's go for a screen map. Okay, we should rotate by -90, so you see the darkest area is on the top, but we can have generally this one darkest. Let's try with 0.7, 0.5. Okay, then let's try to have a composite map, to have another layer, keep all map, and let's go for another layer. Let's copy this one, but this time we'll work with a radial, and we'll go for, let's say, white and the middle, black at the end. Okay, let's say that this one is a multiply. So you see we are doing something like a vignetting. So you see we have a darker area in the middle. Okay, and then we'll try to simulate, maybe this one is more visible, let's go for 65, and then we'll try to simulate some lighting coming from there. And to do this we can use again a gradient composite. We can go for a radial, and we can have let's think about to have a mask there. And there we'll have an RGB tint, this card will use the white, and now we move it we have no tiling, and will be white, and there it will be black. So we should be able to add something. Okay, let's see how it looks. Okay, we have to move it. Let's see in this way. Okay. And let's try to move this layer there. So this one go up, and let's see the result. Okay, so you see it is more blended, and let's try to see what happens if we have a noise. So you see it's with more levels and more noise. So it's just an area, but we need there we need a black color, because you see there we see a cut. Okay, and let's see what happens if it is a different color. So we are not using the RGB, but we are using something like this one. There will be black and black, just to see if it will be something more interesting. Okay, I like to make something similar on the other side, so let's make a new layer, and this one will be up there. We'll have the same mask, we'll have an RGB, but this one will be, let's go for something like an electric green, and it will stay on another side like there and there. Let's see what happened. This one is really visible, so that means that it's normal, but we have to go to addition, and let's say that this one is lower. Okay. Let's see. Again, there, with a little bit more in action there. Maybe it's too much, so let's go to 50. Back, and the scaling should be okay. Okay. Save and exit from the isolation, and let's see how it looks. We have to remove the HDR map from there, so clear. We should obtain the right. We can make also a test using the same map as the environment map. It should be interesting to see if the look will be right or not. I think that it's nice. And maybe we can adjust a cooler area there, maybe, to be sure. So there on the background, just on this one, let's add, we can use this one as a copy, and this one will be white, completely white, and it will be an addition. Let's see what happened. We should have some more clear area there. It is too much. Let's go for 20, just to have the glass more visible without the need to touch the glass shader. So you see we are giving a little bit of information there, just a little bit less. Okay. Really nice. Let's go in the light lister again. Let's open it. And I like to add 10 there. And 5 there. Just to have more lighting over the glass. Okay. Okay, so we made a basic setup for lighting and shading for the last part of the fluid logo animation. We tuned also the animation there, so this part is okay. And the next part of this tutorial we have to tune the other fluids all around, and we have to finalize the looking to have the final animation. So it will be our first fluid logo. And obviously in the future we'll prepare a more complex version to see how to prepare more interesting motion graphics with 3ds Max. So for the moment that's all, and I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.